or using a cleaver like this is no different to using a Western chef's knife. You've got to keep yourself safe. I'm going to use this piece of ginger to show you how to do that nice and safely. First thing is, I'm right-handed, so my left hand, my non-dominant hand, is what I call a crab. 3 fingers in the middle are my front legs, and my little finger and my thumb are my back legs. My back legs never go in front of my front legs, else I chop them off. Ouch. It's also a crab because the legs are always bent. They're never straight, always bent. The top knuckle bends over ever so slightly more so that it can kind of guide the knife, and my blade can kind of lean against the middle finger knuckle. Next tip, my little finger and thumb become kind of like the stabilizer to whatever I'm cutting or slicing into. But again, remember, never allow them to go in front of your front fingers. If you feel that things like garlic and ginger are kind of fraying everywhere and spreading out too much, then your crab can move from this sort of position into more like a crab cage. And then hopefully you'll see that when I sort of start to roughly chop into this, everything within that cage stays in the cage. Ever wondered how to keep control of your knife to make nice flat slices of meat? Here's how. First off, I'm going to take the fat off and just slice into that. We will use it all, don't worry. And these bits of rump steak from here will be nice and flat. Now, the control of your knife comes from where your index finger and thumb are placed, and that is just ahead of the rest of the handle. So my 3 other fingers are wrapped around the handle of my cleaver. With this control, much like being able to pick in sliced or diced ingredients up, my thumb is really important. It creates whatever angle I want to slice my meat at. Flat, slight angle, more, or perpendicular. If I'm slicing sort of flat pieces, I'm going to start by sort of pressing down a fair bit with my thumb and angling my knife at a 20 to 30 degree angle. You'll also see I'm starting at the bottom half of my blade, and all I'm going to do is glide that blade gently down towards me. If you don't get all the way through in one move, then we go again into the cut, and I just pick that slice up to finish it off. If you do go halfway and you're not all the way through the meat, I take it out and start again, as opposed to start sort of sawing into meat, because if you saw into meat, you'll get lots of teeth in the meat and it'll just break it all up. You won't have one clean piece. So the best way is, as I'm showing you here, pick the meat up, pick the knife out, go back in at the base of your knife, and then finish that slice off. From here, if you want to get really nice, flat, thin pieces of meat, then you can use a cleaver and give it a good bash. Much like if you're bashing ginger or garlic, bring whatever you're bashing closer to the edge of the board before you hit it. I'm going to cut that in half. We've got nice, thin pieces of meat. I'm going to quickly marinate this chicken thigh just so that it's easy for me to bring the stir fry together. A couple of spoons of light soy sauce for this. That's 3. For this amount of chicken. Balance that out with a couple of good pinches of sugar. Pinch of 5 spice works nicely. I'm going to make a kind of Sichuan style chicken. Some sesame oil, And then enough cornstarch to give that chicken a slight creamy texture. Give that a good massage through. One hand clean, keeping the bowl down, one hand to do the messy work. That cornstarch will help brown the edges of the chicken, and it also kind of go into the sauce and thicken the sauce ever so slightly. Simple. Ever wondered how we get Chinese food so aromatic? I always prep these 3 ingredients first when I'm cooking any sort of Cantonese meal. Ginger, garlic, spring onion, because I know I'm going to use them. Garlic is absolutely essential to Chinese cooking. To peel your garlic quick and easily, I quite like to just run it under a cold water tap for a second or so. What that does, when you bash it, is that you can take your clove and just ping it, and that clove, your skin comes off straight away because you've got little droplets of that water in between the skin and the waxy membrane of the garlic. Now you quite often see me on different recipe videos just bashing my garlic because the surface area of my cleaver is great for bashing anything that's kind of slightly fibrous. When you're doing this, you don't want to wrap your knuckles, so you want to bring the garlic sort of close enough to the edge of the board, not right on the edge, but kind of just off center, let's say, and then give it a good bash. When you're cutting garlic, it can be quite sticky, so I'd always recommend that your knife is a little bit wet. And then once you've got water on your knife, and I've cut the garlic or chopped the garlic how I want, then with that extra bit of water on your knife, when I pick it up and put it wherever I want, in a bowl, or in this case, to show you guys, one finger away from the blade, none of it sticks to my knife. With spring onion, if I'm cooking a variation of dishes, first off, I always keep the end, or the root, because you can plant that and you can just grow it in your windowsill in a little plant pot. Next, I tend to sort of cut chunks out of the base because it's quite nice to use that to flavour your oil when you're stir frying things. The greens are great for creating really nice thin matchsticks, similar to the matchsticks of ginger, for either garnish or if you're making duck and pancakes, things like that. Great for those types of dishes. A bit of cold water with those matchsticks of spring onion will allow those to kind of curl up a little